Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Buster 210 from Kingdom 2096 and today we will be discussing about siege engine defense. So I will be discussing all the details about the siege engine defense and you can share this video with your friends so that they can also understand the fact and get benefited from it. So if you are loving the content then like this video, subscribe to the channel and share with your friends. So let's start with the hero which we need to use for the siege engine defense. So starting with the hero, and Cleopatra is the one which is currently best for the siege engine defense, but you can use Warsong Master, this one. But Warsong Master only gives you HP, attack, defense, infantry receive damage, damage dealt by archers, and siege engine damage. But Cleopatra gives you the stats which are currently useful, like you can see counter effects, skill, and after that accuracy and many things, like you can see this anti-crit rate, siege engine basic attack, after that crit engine, siege engine damage, then accuracy. This is very important part nowadays. After that reduce the triggering probability of counter attack skills, then damage to infantry and damage from infantry reduction, then siege engine basic HP of 2, and after that siege engine basic attack of 2. So for siege engine defense, Cleopatra is the best hero which I will suggest. Now let's see when we can use siege engine defense and when we can't. So if the opponent is using infantry or cavalry or siege for the offense on your castle, on your building, or on you in short, then you can use siege engine defense, because siege can kill infantry and cavalry better. Let me show you in the unit counter relationship section. So in the advanced section, let us check it. So you can see assault cards can kill cavalries, ranged cavalries, and assault cards can kill pikemen also, then shield soldiers also. So they are very good against cavalry and infantry, and obviously if you have better stats than opponent siege, then they will be good against siege also. So I told you when we can use infantry, cavalry, or siege, but when we can't, so the main troops when we can't use siege as a defense option is wild archer, because you can see here this orange line, this tell us strong restraint. So archers can kill siege very much good. So if you are attacked by archer offender, so it is not at all advised to defend with siege engines, because siege engines are killed by archers. So we discussed when we can use siege and when we can't. Now moving on to next part. So there are two type of siege, you can see here. First one is assault cards and second one is mangonel. Also you can check that in the front row units assault cards are there. So for defense they are very good option. So what troops are assault cards? So assault cards are T12 siege, this one, then T9 siege, T13 siege. Let me open it. So this one. So this is also assault card, and all the assault cards are anti-cavalry. You can check in the description. See this melee unit necessary for gathering and attacking, also anti-cavalry. So they are anti-cavalry. You can check in the T11. You can check in the T12 also. Check it out. Anti-cavalry, gathering and attacking. So all the assault cards are front row units and good for defending. And the other ones, mangonels, they are very bad in defense. So what are mangonels? T11 siege, this one. After that T10 siege, these. So they are very bad in defense, very bad, because they are killed very easily, and it is not advised to keep T11 and T10 while defending, because they are killed in very easily. So either you can send it out to the reinforcement by using march boost, or you can kill them. It's your wish, but it is not advised to keep T10 and T11 in the castle while defending. So we discussed that T9, then T12 and then T13 siege are good for defending. So these three are good for defending. Now let's talk about night siege. So here it is. So they are also anti-cavalry and melee unit need for gathering and attacking anti-cavalry. So these are also assault cards and they are good in defense. So we can use them for defense also. After that, T14 siege. So these are raised unit necessary for attacking. They are not well in the defense, but they are helpful to kill pikemans and T10, T11 cavalries. So they do great effort while killing those T9 and T10 of infantry and cavalry. So these are helpful, but they are not very good in their defense. Also, according to the battle statistics and all the reports which I saw till now, we need cavalry to save siege. Infantry is already you can say pre-recommendation for defending, because better is the infantry, lower is the damage you will receive from opponent troops. And why do we need cavalry? Because let me open unit counter relationship section. So check it out. Archers can kill siege, and to kill archers we need cavalries. So we need cavalries to save them siege. So while defending with siege, we need to have cavalry, infantry, and siege. And what will be the priority of you can say statistics, which we need very strong and mediocre. So as you're defending with siege, your defense with siege should be very good. After that, I will suggest you should keep the infantry, because infantry will reduce the damage, and then cavalry is to kill the incoming archers, because they kill the archers. So that was important to discuss. And now let's move to enhancements. So we will be talking only two enhancements. So we will be talking about enhancements of siege, and I will suggest you best two. So if the recommended ones are at level 75 or max out, then you can defend well. And there are also some statistics, but for enhancements you need to have them at least 75 to defend well with siege engines. So for T14 siege, we need to work on Smite Storm and Siege Awakening. So this one and this one. After that, for the T13 siege, so here we need to work on Smash Hit and Blasphemy. Then for the T12 siege, so here we need to work on everything except advanced hardening. So advanced damage reduction, then savage crush, then advanced load. We need all three of them to be 75 or 60 or max out, so that we can defend better with siege, because these can kill infantries very well. T12 siege, as we discussed earlier, T12 siege can defend and kill infantries very well. So, and also cavalries. So we need to get all these three skills to max it out. After that, for the T11 siege, so in the T11 siege, we need to work on boulder and power attack. So these two, but as I suggested before, that it is not advised to keep T11 and T10 in the castle. So I am telling just because if any case you can't keep all of them out, then you should work on them so that they can do some damage. So after that, T10 siege, here you need to focus on boulder and accumulative power. So these two. After that, T9. So in the T9, we need to work on load and crush for the defense. So after that, night siege. So here we need to work on evil crash and strike of fear, because the night siege, these two skills give us a better help in killing the opponent infantry and cavalries. So as far as I saw the report, these two are working very good. And after that, let's talk about how much troops we need to keep in the castle for at least taking a double rally at the same time. From double rally, I am meaning that there is no time to heal in between. So for T12 siege, if it will be about 3 million, it will be better with 500k of each of the Razor and defend troops of the Armament. After that T11, keep them as low as possible. Same for the T10. After that T9, we need to keep 5 million of these to defend better. Then moving to T13 siege, so we need to have 2 million of these, 2 million normal, and then 500k at least of Razor and Armament both. So 1 million of Armament troops consisting of 500 of Razor and 500 of defend troops, and 1.5 or 2 million at least of T13 siege. After that T14 siege, these also 200k, not much but 200k, because to kill the T9 and T10 of infantry and cavalry. Then for the night siege, here we need to have 400k to 500k for defending well. After that, so now I think I discussed everything about the siege, and there are some important things to keep in mind while defending in siege, that we need to keep high siege health. So siege health at least of 790 or 800 at least, so that they can be alive and kill better. So you can check the video from I button section. Here I already put a video on siege engine health. Then next is siege engine attack and defense. So we need to have at least 1600 of siege engine attack and defense to defend well. Then let me show you one report which I defended with siege. Actually my siege is not ready for the defense, but I just defended to show you how good it can do even without working not much. And the guy was having good cavalries, I wasn't having basic attacks, so my siege defense is very weak. So I was little bit afraid before the rally, and when I discussed with my friends, he also told me that it will be very high damaging to you, because the guy who was rallying me was very good with cavalry, so it can deal a better damage. So but check this report. The guy is having these cavalry stats: 53 cavalry basic attack, cavalry offensive 7, counter cavalry 17, 22, then crit rate 9, 209 crit damage, then anti crit rate 13, and crit damage reduction 214, and after that cavalry charge damage 235. So that is the attacker's stats, and I defended with siege. So you can check this, that my attack and defense was not at all near to 1600, but I just defended it with all skills and without any reinforcements. So we need to have these two as 1600, siege engine attack and defense. Then health, we need to have it at least 790 or 800 to defend well, so you can check the video. Then siege engine damage, this is important, because higher the damage, better they can kill the coming troops. So I also made a video on this, you can check out from the I button section. Then siege engine receive damage, if the person is using siege engine, then you need to have high of this, because siege engine received damage will reduce the damage received by siege on your castle. So that is important when opponent is using siege. Then siege engine basic attack, check this out, I have only 5. It is not at all advised that this much of siege engine basic attack should defend with siege. At least 20 to 25 of siege engine basic attack at least. And if the opponent is strong, you need to have 45 to 50 of siege engine basic attack. So we need to work on basic attack too. Then after basic attack, siege engine defensive damage 11%, that is decent. About 15 is normal, so I will say it is okay. Then counter siege engine and countered by siege engine, that is important. When the opponent is using siege, we need to counter the incoming siege, so we need to have that much. But I was focusing on counter cavalries, because the opponent was using cavalry, you can see 2020. So I increased my counter cavalry and countered by cavalry in place of siege, because the opponent was using cavalries. So you need to work on opponent troop, so you need to change according to the opponent troops. So after that, siege engine crit rate and crit damage, that is not much important for the siege engine, but everything better is good in the battle, so you can work on it. And after that, there are 2 3 things which are very very important. Let me discuss it also. So we discuss about siege engine accuracy. That is a very important stats while defending or attacking or using siege, because higher the accuracy, better is the damage on the opponent troops, because more is the chances that the attack will be connected with the opponent troops. So accuracy should be as much as possible. After that, multiple hits. So multiple hits you can check in the skill section of the troops, like in the T13. See, Blasphemy gives you 393.75% damage to multiple enemy melee units. So multiple, as much as multiple damages, multiple hits, it will be helpful. It is 74 and make it 75 or at least 75. But 80 is best because it is max and that will increase it more. So after that, also in the T12, you can see 5 melee targets. So it is attacking to more than one troops. 5 troops are being killed by one siege according to this. So higher is the multiple hit, better is the result. So we need to work on these troops, and that's why while defending or while offense, multiple hitting troops are better for attacking, defending, or for battle. So that was it about the siege engine defense. Also you need to have good infantry and good cavalry for defending with siege, because infantry will reduce the damage received and cavalry will kill the incoming archers, which will kill our siege, because archers can kill siege very easily. Just we need to work on counter archers when the rally is coming from archers. So like in this report you can see, you need to keep in mind that nowadays no one defense is very good, like only cavalry infantry is not at all very good at every time, because if the person is using siege, it can destroy your castle very easily. So you need to check the troops and stats of the opponent on which troop type it is focusing, and you need to use the counter ones, the troops which will counter it. So for defending against infantry you can use siege or infantry, for defending against cavalry you can use cavalry or infantry or siege, and for archers, for defending against archer you can use either archer or cavalry or infantry. And for siege it is advised to use archers against siege, because cavalries and infantry are easy target for siege, and against siege either siege will work or archers will work. So you can check every 4 types defending strategies in the playlist I made on all the 4 types, and today is the last video of that master series. If the content was helpful and I was able to clear the strategy and how to defend well, then leave a comment in the comment section so that I can also know that these many people are getting benefited from it. And also like this video, subscribe the channel and share with your friends so that they can also understand the battle mechanism of the defense. So that's it guys, thank you.